I'm going crazy, sitting on that train, and I don't think I'm ever coming home. Don't think I'm lazy, don't think I'm strange. I do think I'm really just losing it all. 'Cause I'm going crazy. Yes, I'm going crazy.
Happy Friday, everybody. What's happening? It's your old pal Ray, live from my man town for Ray's Happy Hour-ish. We call it ish because it usually goes over when we do our Nightcap with Jay. So this is just a fun little show. If you're new to the show, just talk, conversation, drink, music. Jon-Paul Royer is going to join us later on. He'll be performing a little bit. We'll catch up with Jon-Paul. It's all friends tonight. Local celebrities. I don't have the big celebrities this week like I normally do. But soon. I must have sent out 100 emails and tweets this week looking for that name, because sometimes I feel like the show needs a name. But I've got plenty of local names. And in the end, that's all I really need. A few things before we get going. Since we last spoke, it was 2 weeks ago. Last weekend, got a chance to get away. I just wanted to share with you guys. I don't know if you're familiar with Portland, Maine, but we drove up there for lunch last weekend, and we got a slab pizza. That's a hand slab. That, my friends, is as big as my head, and that's just like the single piece. Like if you were go get a slice of pizza at your regular pizza place, it would take 5 bites, you'd be done. That one took 3 days to eat. It's slab pizza, and it's one of my favorite places in the whole wide world. We were lucky enough to go last weekend. We had a nice weekend. We had a little bit of a getaway, and we were very safe about it. I know it's like, oh, they got out of the house. We were very safe about it. We wore our masks, and we only went to places that looked safe enough, and everything was closed anyway. There was a lot of walking and a lot of driving. Speaking of safe and masks, we have so many masks here in our house. So I wanted to share with you guys some of the masks that I have worn in the past and may bring back. All right, let's start with this one. You tell me what you think. The only concern with it, you can't see me. I'm gone, right? And if I'm walking on the street, I could get hit by a car. Somebody could walk right over me. So I think that one's a pass right there, the camouflage. Still a hit with everybody. I know we've all seen it. We're all caught up, right? Most of us. I don't know if the Baby Yoda is hip, is in, is fetch. Is that still a word? I don't even know if fetch is still a word. This one I always had issues with. All right, here is the frowny monster, but everyone says I'm wearing it wrong. I have one that has fangs too at the same time. I guess it depends on my mood, right? Happy creepy Ray or serial killer Ray. I don't know. This one I wore for a gag once. A little too cutesy. I'm fine with being cute once in a while, but I think that one's too adorable. What say you, right? Wouldn't you just, we wouldn't get anything done if I had this on in front of you. But I think my favorite new one, it's almost too thin. Oh my God, you can see right through it, is the Back to the Future DeLorean. It's so cool, but now that I'm looking at it, I can see that is not good fabric. Maybe I'll just stick with my MyFM mask. Speaking of MyFM, let me tell you a little bit about myself. If you're new to the game here, I am a radio DJ. I do a morning show, plus promotions, production, you name it. I'm doing it at MyFM 101.3 in Milford, Massachusetts. That's me. That's a Tim Rice photo. And I am also part of New England Legends. I know we got some legendary listeners watching right now. Hi, legendary listeners. This is a podcast I do with Jeff Belanger. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts. If you give Jeff and myself just about 10 minutes, we'll give you something strange to talk about today. That's a lot of fun. Let's see. What else? I mean, who cares, right? Just get to the guests. Talk about something fun, I think. That's what you're thinking. Well, let me tell you about an event happening tomorrow before we get to our first guest. We're going to make drinks tonight. I'm drinking tonight. And then I heard I'm drinking tomorrow night too. So it should be a fun weekend. Not that it wouldn't be fun if I wasn't drinking. That was a horrible thing to say. I'm drinking. It's going to be fun. I can have fun without drinking. Anyway, tomorrow morning, 8 to noon at both Honeydews in Milford. It's a fundraiser for the Milford Youth Football and Cheer. 10% of all the proceeds from 8 to 10, noon are going to go to the program. It's a great program. And Molly had a lot of fun with this week. Let's look at some of her posters that she put on Facebook to promote this thing. There's Bill from Office Space. Love that one. That's Donut Dan. Always loves getting his donuts from Honeydew Donut. And we appreciate you, Dan. He says, buy all the donuts. The coolest man in the world. Most interesting, right? Most interesting man in the world. I love the cat meme. Is that Housewives? I don't know if that's Housewives. I don't really get that one. I don't know where that came from. Parks and Rec, one of my favorite shows. Treat yourself tomorrow and check out what Honeydew made up just for this promotion. It's the Hawk Nuts. Look at that. Look at all the flavors to choose from. You got the Hawks colors. You got the Go Hawks donut. Love it. So that's tomorrow from 8 to noon, both locations in Milford. 10% goes back to the program, Milford Youth Football and Cheer. Oh, I should play my video that we made for the t-shirts. That was a lot of fun. All right. Let's see. We're going to talk about movies with Jason Fortier in just a bit from the Film Crickets podcast. We've got Jon-Paul Royer, as I mentioned, going to play a few songs. We'll catch up with JP. We're going to talk about the tradesman later with Jay when we have a nightcap with Jay. Lot to talk about there. I could start now, but I'm afraid I'd spend half the show talking about it. We had a loss. Most of you know that. Before we get to our guests, let me just check Jon-Paul. 10% goes back to the kids. 20% goes to his waist. I don't like that. I gotta. Can you guys see that? Should I widen that? What if I did this? Is that better? Bubble, minimal. Let's go with that for now. Yes, JP, I know, but I am going to do it. I'm going to go get a donut and a coffee tomorrow. It's for the kids, JP. Joy, I missed you guys last week too. Good to see you, Andrew. Greetings from South Carolina. What? Newfoundland. Look at that. Raylene. Hi, Raylene. Hey, Ray from Ray. Did they call you Ray? Raylene? Is that your thing? Let's see. Who else we got watching? Zajac. Fetch slapped. See, that's too hip for me. Fitch slapped. I got Fitch slapped. Okay. Now I feel like oh, never mind. Oh, what's up, Julie? How are you? Just want to say hi to everybody. Hey, Sue Albie. How are you? Long time no see. And Raylene is called Ray. I'm going to call you Ray from now on. All right, let's get to our guest, ladies and gentlemen. I could see him down in the queue. He was so bored he took off. Let's bring him in. Yep, there he is. Michael Aghajanian, are you there?
I am.
What an entrance.
I know, right?
That was amazing. Did you plan that?
Yeah, planned.
Michael from Central Tavern, which we keep getting teases, texts, and Facebook. And what's happening at Central?
Well, I'm here now, which is a good sign. I'm enjoying my painkiller.
What do you have there?
Yeah, it's called a painkiller.
Oh, it is. Bring that up to the camera just a little bit closer. I just want people to see how fancy these drinks are going to be. Not fancy, but just good looking.
You got your pineapple frond and your cinnamon stick, of course, a swizzle stick, and then we got the bamboo straw. Yeah,
get a little close. Get a little closer to that swizzle stick. Show people what that is.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Your very own swizzle sticks.
That's right.
And what's in that drink that you're drinking?
This is painkiller. Is a very tiki drink. So it's pineapple juice, orange juice, dark rum, and deliciousness.
Michael, we've talked about tiki before, and you're a fan of tiki culture. What is tiki culture?
So, in the 30-second,
it's nothing to be embarrassed about.
No, I know. It's like, yeah. So tiki is all about escapism, right? So it's not about anything real. It's literally about just escaping from where you are for the day. Had a rough day, had a good day, whatever it is. You just make yourself a painkiller, and you're swept away to somewhere tropical. And so that's really the essence of the tiki movement in the 40s and 50s, and still today. There's actually a pretty big tiki resurgence in the past 4 or 5 years. So yeah,
and we're gonna get a little taste of that at Central Tavern when it opens.
You are, yeah. We have our. We'll be doing painkillers. We'll be doing Mike ties, as I now call them. We'll be doing jungle birds. We'll be doing a whole bunch of tiki concoctions that are fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got a ballpark date? Can I put you on the spot?
Yeah, we'll even be serving them in fun tiki mugs as well too.
That's awesome. You have a variety of tiki mugs there.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch.
Plus the big one for $6, right? Am I right that there's going to be he's going to show it to us. This is located in Milford, Mass, by the way. Fun hangout. Michael bought it year and a half ago. Look at that. That's going to seat 6. It's going to seat 6.
Yeah. So this would be like the Scorpion Bowl version where we can, when post-COVID, you can order a tiki drink in this nice big conch shell. So it'll be for 6.
That's awesome. Everyone loves the painkillers. First I heard of it, but it seems like everyone loves them on vacation. Yeah,
Andrew, I totally agree. Painkillers and Mai Tais all day long on the beach.
So you're going to be able to take a mouth vacation to Central Tavern in Milford, Massachusetts very soon.
That's right. Yeah, so actually I'm here tonight. As Bray know, I actually forgot I was on tonight, and I'm prepping. We're doing a private event tomorrow night. It's a soft opening. So we're bringing in about 30 people to do a soft opening and stress our systems out to make sure that we're ready to open. But we're planning to open, and the way things are looking right now, we're looking at mid-March.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. We're looking forward to that because I've seen a lot. I've heard a lot. And I can tell everybody firsthand that this is going to be a place to chill and hang out with friends, listen to some light music, unwind, and then when it's appropriate, rock out once the bands come back.
That's right. And if people want to be invited to our invite-only soft openings in speakeasy style the next few weeks, please sign up on our Facebook page. Every so often we post out our loyalty program, and that's how we're pushing out invitations to these soft openings. So we did 2 in October and November, but obviously we decided to go in hibernation because of COVID. But everything's looking good. We're doing one this weekend, and we're pretty much going to open up in March.
Good. All right. So tonight you're going to start me off with a drink. This is a show about cocktails and conversation, and of course we need a drink to get things rolling. So what are you making for me tonight?
What do you want?
Well, I was thinking about a margarita, perhaps. Am I putting you on the spot to ask for a mezcal margarita?
No. Mezcal's great.
That's what you sent me. I didn't get, by the way, I went to the liquor store today. I did not get any mezcal. So I have regular tequila. But because there's not a big option with mezcal in this area. I couldn't find a lot. And the only thing I could find was a $60 bottle. And I just couldn't bring myself to buy that. So instead, this is the first time I've ever bought gin in my life. This is nautical. This is a Massachusetts made gin. And you made me a gimlet once. And it was delicious. So that's one of my new favorite drinks. And again, I think my first experience with gin was my dad's bar when I was 13 years old in the basement, drinking the horrible stuff that ruined gin and vodka and everything for me. But this is a gimlet's amazing. So I'm going to start getting into gin a bit.
Yeah, gin is a really good, if you use gin as a spirit as a flavor profile in the drink, it's fantastic. Gin by itself it's like a Christmas tree. But you add some simple syrup and some citrus to it, and you have a gimlet, which is a very well balanced, cocktail. It's also very refreshing.
Yeah, it is. All right, mezcal. What's the difference between mezcal and tequila?
Well, tequilas. Where am I going? Yeah, so tequilas are made from agave. Mezcals are also made from agave. The difference is that mezcals are they're the agave smoked, and they're made in small batches. So mezcals typically are more expensive than tequilas.
Okay.
But what I would tell you is that you're going to go through your bottle of mezcal much slower than your bottle of tequila.
Okay.
When you open up a bottle of mezcal, it smells like a campfire. Like literally, it smells like you can smell the underground pits where they actually smoke the agave.
It's my favorite smell, by the way.
Yeah, really?
Campfire, yeah.
Oh yeah. It's very unique smell. Some people like it, some people don't, but it's very unique. So the cocktail, so the spirit tastes like what it smells like. And so when I make a margarita, I like to add just a little bit of mezcal to add some smoke to it as another layer of flavor in the drink.
Okay, so this will still have tequila in it. Is that what you're saying?
So mezcal is different from tequila. It's made from the same fruit, agave, and then tequilas are their whole own. So with a margarita, I still use tequila, and then I'll and then I add just a little bit of mezcal to add some kick to it.
All right, let's make it.
Sweet. How do you make yours?
Well, I'm gonna follow you. I mean, I put ice in a shaker.
Great. Well,
I can't get all that fancy. I don't have the garnishes. No. I don't have all that.
No, I'm not gonna get fancy either here.
You tell me how much I need to put in. So if you're putting mezcal in with the tequila, you're not putting as much tequila in as you normally would. Is that correct?
Oh no, I'm putting the same amount in.
Oh, okay.
So typically what I'll do is I like to make mine what I call tequila forward. So I will do 3 ounces. So this is
3 ounces.
Yeah. So this is a double. You needed a drink from me.
Okay.
Wow, you have a beat pour on yours. You're fancier than I am right now.
I used to bartend a long time ago, so I still have the count in my head. Something I never lost.
Oh yeah.
But I also learned recently that using a jigger is probably the best thing for any good bartender. Even if they can free pour, you still should use the right amount.
Yeah, they're both just measuring devices, so that there's really no, jiggers are a bit more accurate. So I'm going to add just a half ounce of mezcal.
Okay, I don't have that.
Yeah, which just in mezcal I use, which you can get at Julio's in Westboro. This is a fantastic.
That's where I was going to go, but it was snowing today, so I went down the street, and there's nothing in Milford. Obviously, I should have went to Julio's.
Yeah, I usually go there. So with mezcals, margaritas, you need your tequila, you need your orange, you need your citrus, and you need your sweet, right? So Ray uses triple sec. I'm going to use a product called dry curacao.
Fancy.
Yeah, it's actually cheaper. Well, actually, no, it's cheaper than Cointreau, not cheaper than yours.
No, it's not cheaper than Harem Walker at all.
It's definitely not cheaper than that. But it's a good product. It's a drier orange. So I'll do an ounce of this. I would do for you an ounce and a half, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Yeah. And then I'm going to pull out some Grand Marnier.
Oh, I don't have that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Any orange is fine. I'm only going to do. I'm going to do an ounce of this. Grand Marnier has a different flavor than the dry curacao. So the Grand Marnier is actually a cognac with orange infused to it. And the dry curacao is a drier version of that as well too. So they actually do pretty well together. So then we're gonna add some citrus, right? So 1 ounce of citrus.
Lime juice?
Yeah, lime juice. Yep, sorry.
Okay, all right.
If you have
fancy terms.
Yeah, well, if you have lemon, you can use it. Use lime juice.
I don't. So here we go.
There you go.
And it's the roses, the standard.
Oh, all right.
I should have squozed something.
Yeah, and then just an ounce of simple syrup, which is your sweet.
An ounce, huh? So this is I have Master of Mixes. I know you make your own.
Yeah. So everybody out there, you can make your own simple syrup. 2 parts sugar, 1 part water, and just let it sit in a pot overnight.
I got it all over the table. This is never gonna. My table will forever be sticky now.
Forever.
Ugh.
Yep.
Okay.
And then shake with a smile.
Now, there's a key to how long you shake, right? You got to feel the outside of the shaker.
Yeah.
And it has to be pretty cold, right?
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, so you'll see on the out, it's turned frosty. It's actually getting cold to almost too cold to hold. That's when you know that you've
That was my motto in high school. I was too cold to hold. I was a bad boy.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh, I should strain it, son of a bitch.
Yeah. So now,
I mean, you could have it on the rocks.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh, you're having yours on the rocks? I don't want mine on the rocks.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything fancy. And then for garnish, there's a lime wedge or a lime wheel. I like lime wheels.
Oh, you wouldn't believe this, and I'm afraid I'm going to tip it right up to the brim.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Nice pour.
Yeah.
That's a pro right there. You might want to think about hiring me.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, right. Cheers.
Cheers.
I have one of those upstairs. I should have brought it, the swizzle stick.
Ooh, that's tasty.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Okay. Because a lot of people shy away from tequila because it's tequila, and we've all had our tequila experiences.
No.
But if you mix it right with the right citruses and the right orange flavor, you're not going to get that tequila shot taste or feeling.
Yeah. So when you're choosing your tequila, the number one rule is to make sure that the tequila is 100% agave. So on the bottle, it'll tell you right away, like Patron is right in the front. And this is actually a requirement for Mexico. They have to tell you how much agave is in the tequila. So you don't have to buy expensive tequila. You just need to make sure it has 100% agave. If it doesn't, you're going to get headaches in the morning.
Yeah, and we don't want that. And that's the reason why a lot of us shy away from some bars that serve mixed drinks because they don't know how to do it. But I could tell everybody that you, my friend, know what you're doing. So Central's going to be an exciting place to be if you want to get your cocktail on. Plus, I mean, of course, beer and craft beers, and I mean, you'll have all that, and your favorite domestic beers.
Yep.
And what can we talk about? What's on tap too that no one else has, or we should probably you want to wait on that?
Yeah, but we'll be waiting that until we get closer to opening.
All right. Well, when that does happen, we'll have you back on and we can talk more about it.
Yeah. How's your margarita? Because last time you said it was just okay.
Oh, really? No, I loved it. I wish it was frozen though. I wish I went that route, and maybe on the rocks would have been better. But still, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So to do it frozen, you do the same recipe I just gave you, and then you just throw it in a blender with ice.
Yeah.
That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that in the comments a little bit later on if I remember that recipe. But that was awesome. And what brand tequila would you go for if I just without thinking?
Cazadores.
Absolutely. Right. Hands down.
No, that's just it's inexpensive tequila. It's a good quality. Patron's good, but you're paying 20-30% more for the name. Where, so
don't expect the good stuff to be expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a lot of it's about the label.
Yeah, Cazadores is a great kind of what we call a working tequila. It's a good quality, inexpensive, and actually the liquor stores in Milford. I know Liquor World carries Cazadores.
They have a good selection. That's where I was today. I just couldn't find any mezcal.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, good to see you.
Right.
Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. That's Michael Aghajanian from Central Tavern in Milford. We're so looking forward to that place opening. And I've seen comments, when are you opening? Why are you? You know what? I mean, it's been tough on everybody. So he'll open when he's ready. And you don't want that. You don't want anybody opening when they're not ready. He's got a lot of fun planned for everybody and really a special experience for everybody. So he wants to make sure it's right. And this is the time to really work out the kinks with the soft openings and all that fun stuff. So look forward to the Central Tavern being open real soon. Let's take a look at the comments. Sunday is National Margarita Day. Are you serious, Kim? Margaritas all day. Well, we just learned how to make a really good one for Michael. So I hope you guys were taking notes there. And how are you, Kim? Good to see you. Notice all the Facebook profiles. A lot of them are the T. I mean, man, you can't go on Facebook without seeing a photo or a cover photo or a profile picture of the tradesman. And again, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. I'm a little backed up here. Let's see. I just saw, where was Brian? I just saw Brian here. I'm all over the place. Oh, there he is. Make mine weak, please. That's always been my problem. Strong drinks. Shaking with a smile. Yes, that's how John Taffer taught us how to shake with a weird, creepy smile. All right. Outside dining, unfortunately not. Well, you never know. There could be a rooftop situation someday, but the lot doesn't allow it. He's pretty set in on the road, or on top of the road with nothing behind or to the sides. But there was talk about something in the future on top of Central, so we shall see about that. All right, let's get to my next guest. And I was a guest on his podcast. I'm so slow at this thing. And I'll tell you, he had his shit together when he was doing it. There was none of this. Hold on one sec, everybody. Let me just go over here, and I got to take that off. All right, let's bring in Jay from the Film Crickets podcast. Jay, what's happening, man? How are you?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Good. Good to see you. I can hear you just fine.
All right,
can you
just
hear
making
me?
sure. Yeah. Yeah, great.
Jay, we've been friends on Facebook for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've ever really had a conversation in public. Is it Fortier or Fortier?
No. Fortier. Yeah.
Fortier,
Fortier usually is. Fortier is usually from the telemarketer people.
Well, I get Auger or Auger.
Yeah.
But Auger, we went with the R at the end as well. French, what are you?
Right.
What's your heritage?
Yeah. I'm French, yeah. French Canadian.
French Canadian. Fun, right? I just did the ancestry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, you're French as well, right?
Yeah.
And then my partner for the show, Chris Martineau, he's also French. So we were the French connection that day when you showed up.
Nothing against the Canadians or French people. I just always wanted something else. So we did the ancestry.com thing. I took the swab and haven't gotten the results back yet. I'm hoping for a little bit of Irish, maybe a little Italian. But for now, I am a 100% French Canadian, and happy to be, by the way. Raylene, happy to be.
Sure.
All right. So tell everybody about the Film Crickets. I was a guest on the show, and it was a lot of fun. You guys don't just talk about movies. There's kind of a twist to the concept.
Well, yeah, we do movies from right now. It's 1980 to 1999. We randomly generate that number, so we'll put in a random number generator in Google and go between 80 and 99, and something will pop up. Let's say 1987, and then we'll do another random number generator on my end. I'll do 1 through 50, and whatever number we land on, that's the position for that year that of the box office. So it could be 1987, the number 7 of 1987, and that happened to be Stakeout, the one that you joined us for, which was a blast, man. It was so much fun.
It's funny because I didn't think I'd have a lot to talk about. Do you guys find that when you pick a movie that you're like, do you find that how are we going to fill an hour and a half with that movie?
I think there was only one that we kind of we got to the point where we're like, okay, I think we're kind of beating a dead horse here. And it was just an awful film. It was called Heartburn. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but we had never heard of it. It has Jack Nicholson and Meryl Streep.
Oh, yes.
And it was really awful. And there was a cutoff point where we're like, oh, forget it. Let's just kill it now, And at the end of the show, what we do is we talk about how well they hold up to today's standards. So it's a lot of fun. I was really into podcasts probably in this last year for the most part. Not like a lot of other people. A lot of other people have been listening to them for years. I got into one called "How Did This Get Made?" Have you heard of that?
Oh, I love that. That's one of my favorite podcasts.
Yeah, unbelievable. And anybody who hasn't heard of it, there are 3 comic actors, Paul Scheer, Jason Mantzoukas, and Paul's wife, which is June Diane Raphael. And they basically talk about bad films, just only bad ones. Now, Chris and I, who have been friends since, let's say junior high, I've known him probably since elementary, but like we didn't really start hanging out until like high school, junior high school. And we ended up throughout most of our adult lives just constantly talking film every time we talked to each other. So when I fell in love with this show, How Did This Get Made, I was like, oh my God, I really want to do this, because sometimes other than that podcast, I would go on, let's say, Stitcher or all these different podcast platforms and try to find ones that I liked. Like it might be a specific movie that I'm looking for, or or it could be horror, and I could never. I'm not saying never, but like sometimes they're really, really hard to find ones that are entertaining. So it was like he and I have such a great rapport. We're always talking about movies every time we'd call each other on the phone. So it's like a natural thing that we do. So I was like, this one person that I want to start this with. And I unfortunately can't be here tonight. Life gets in the way.
We're going to do it again.
But yeah, absolutely. We're going to probably do it sometime in April. But yeah, I was going to show people a picture of him, but it's kind of, it's a little blurry. He's in the woods, and he's kind of like walking like this, no, it'd be great when we can all get together though. It'd be really awesome. Yeah. Love films though. Love them. And
absolutely. Me too. And that's why I was happy to be a guest on your show. I had seen Stakeout when I was younger, and it was one of those movies I would watch every once in a while. And I don't know why. And we talked about this, how funny it was as a 17-year-old to watch this movie. And it didn't, I think we decided it didn't hold up to its best efforts. And especially when you've got cops who are doing a stakeout. Today's technology a lot different than 25 years ago.
Right. And also stuff that they did in the film, like it was like a voyeuristic thing where he was looking at a lady in the shower. Stuff that was, can't really sell that to a modern audience. Just doesn't really fly. So there was illegal stuff. There's so much. Yeah, it makes you cringe when you're watching it. So, I mean, overall, though, we still enjoyed the film, but it's just it holds up to where we can recommend it to everybody.
Right, exactly. What other movies have you guys covered over the last? How long have you been doing this? It's only been a couple months, right?
Since I think we launched in October. And
okay,
we got together the idea started in June, and it took us a few months to really sort of understand what was going on, because we had never attempted a podcast before. I went to school for radio, same school as you,
Dean. Yeah.
So I mean, broadcasting was not a stranger to the idea of how the heck do you get this thing online? What do you do? How do you get it to sound okay? All those things we were going through. And we didn't want to just up and do it straight up without a couple of rehearsals. So we did 2 films that we just did dry runs without recording. So we actually watched a movie, got together one week, did a thing, and then, wanted to see how the timing was, how everything was going to work. Then we did it again to see if we were going to change anything. Third one, we ended up recording, but that was still just a test. We ended up releasing it a little later. It was Tootsie. So if you want to check that out, it's funny because we added, I kept everything in, including the timer that was going to go off. Beep, beep, just because I told everybody it was a test episode, that we were doing. So I didn't mind the fact that weird stuff was, added. We hadn't added sound effects or the intro song yet. We have an intro song by a great band. A couple of friends of mine growing up, they They're called Draco and the Malfoys. How great is that? And yeah, they did our intro song. A good friend of mine did the voiceover stuff. So we just, we tried to tap local people to try to give us a hand because, we don't have any cash to put it together. But, we lucked out and we were able to just, I don't know, it's been a lot of fun. So we finally were able to record our first episode, which was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Those were that one and Joe versus the Volcano were our first two. Those were what we called passion projects. I ended up loving Fast Times. He loved Joe versus the Volcano. And then we ended up doing, after that, we started to do random. Just to try not to steer the ship too much. Because we don't want to be fanboys are like, oh, check it out. We're just going to do nonstop action, comedy, horror, and never do a drama, so.
Yeah, it'd be very easy to fall into that hole where you're just doing exactly what you want to do. But it's fun because sometimes you can't escape the negativity. You just don't like the film. There's no redeeming qualities. Has there been a movie that you have watched where you just couldn't find anything good about it?
Well, Heartburn's pretty close. There was also a low down dirty shame. That was brutal to watch.
That was the Wayans brothers, right? Or one of the Wayans. Keenan, was it Keenan Wayans?
Just Keenan. Yeah.
Okay.
That was pretty awful.
You did Purple Rain recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember watching Purple Rain, and I always felt it was too adult for me. Now, I'm a kid that grew up watching Porky's, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, any sex comedy I could get. But for some reason, Purple Rain was way out of my realm of maturity. And I don't know why, because I've seen it recently. It's basically just a concert film with a few non-dramatic bad acting parts from Prince. But you have the music, which is iconic. But as a kid, it was so over my head.
Mm-hmm. We kind of destroyed it as far as how good it was. You can't argue with how good the performances were as far as when he was on stage.
Sure,
that was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's probably where it shined only.
All right, so you were telling me you might have a new feature on your show where Chris is going to ask you some questions. I guess, Jay, you have some knowledge about irrelevant pop culture that you're pretty proud of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We ended up doing different, I'm going to probably ask him movie questions, which I could probably do as well. But we like to separate what we're doing as far as the what we're doing as far as trivia. So, you don't want it to be exact. So my whole thing is I like to do, he asks me he'll name a song and then I say the artist and what year it came out. And I always say, give me half a point if I get it within a year, only because sometimes stuff's like released in November, but then it's still going strong in January and February. And then that year gets all the credit. So it's like,
I did was, I came up with some one-hit wonders of the 80s, and I have the title. I didn't do the year. I don't have the year, but I'll just give you a point for each one. We have about 20 of them here, and we'll bang through them before we let you go. You ready?
Sure. You don't want me to say the year, just the artist?
Just the artist for now. Yeah, I didn't write down the years. All right. Here we go. Rock On.
Michael Damian.
Rock On is indeed Michael Damian. Very nice. Pac-Man Fever.
Wow, you got me on that one, brother. I'm going to hit the
Buckner and Garcia.
You just got that. That's awesome.
They have a whole album of video game songs. It's not just Pac-Man Fever. I had the 45, but little did I know there was a whole album. My friend Jay gave it to me recently.
Wow. I remember it was from 82, 81. Yeah.
I was 10 or something. All right. Beds of Burning.
Midnight Oil.
Midnight Oil is correct. Here's a great one. Far From Over.
Frank Stallone, my man.
Yes, sir. That's right. From what was that in 3? I think that was in Rocky 3. All right.
No, it was
and-
from the Staying Alive.
Oh, it was. It wasn't in one of the Rocky movies. It was Staying
No,
Alive.
if you see, if you picture what's his John Travolta, he's wearing the headband, and the movie begins with it, which is weird.
It's also
like
it's also in a great SNL sketch with Martin Short and Harry Shearer as synchronized swimmers.
My
right?
God, do I love that? That's one of my favorites
right.
ever. And Christopher Guest.
That's
Guest
right, as the
playing
coach.
their, trainer.
The trainer, yeah.
Yeah.
Edge of a Broken Heart.
Vixen.
That is
Or
correct.
yeah. I thought you were gonna.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi had one too.
Did they? Okay. These are the hits. These are the
Yeah.
one-hit wonders. Okay. Under the Milky Way.
Is it the Church?
Wow, it is the Church. I was surprised. That's one of the deeper ones. Lunatic Fringe.
Oh yeah, Red Rider, baby.
Red Rider is right. You're killing it here. Not the Mariah Carey version, but the 80s version.
Aldo Nova.
Aldo Nova is right. That's an easy one.
General Public.
General Public is right. What movie was that? Weird Science. It was
Weird
predominant.
Science, yeah.
It was okay.
And later on, they used it in. Sorry. They used it in Clueless too at the end.
Oh, okay.
Breakout. Oh! Swing Out Sister.
Sorry,
no,
I think you had
said
that.
it.
Yeah.
It was literally. I'm saying it. You put it up.
All right. Heart and Soul.
T'Pow.
T'Pow. I love that name. T'Pow.
And I mean, only because, by the way, I would also, anybody could have also said Huey Lewis, because he had one too with that same title. But you said one hit wonder. So, all right. Toy Soldiers,
right.
Martika.
Martika is right.
EU.
EU. Wow. I think you got one wrong so far. All right, here we go. Try this one.
Oh God, I can't even tell you how much I love this song.
Right?
The bass line. It's New Shoes.
New Shoes is right. I play that a lot on my radio show. All right.
Oh, the bass line starts it right away. Oh yeah. Very ironic, this one here. This one is Jermaine Stewart. And I say ironic because unfortunately, it was supposed to be to promote anti-AIDS, and he ended up dying of AIDS.
Oh my God.
Very crazy. Oh yeah, Taco.
I interviewed Taco a couple years ago, and it was funny. Because I do an 80s show on Wednesday mornings on my morning show, and I was looking for 80s artists to talk to, and I found him on Facebook, and I'm like, by chance, he's got a message thing. I'll message him. Probably won't get back to me. 5 minutes later, he got back to me. Yeah, absolutely, I'll talk to you. So Taco's looking for anybody to talk to right now. Yeah. Catch Me I'm Falling.
My daughter. Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah.
My daughter is really good about hearing things when it comes to my daughter Elaine. She's really good about like hearing little moments in songs. And in the middle of that, Putting on the Ritz song, you hear like a jukebox type of piano.
Okay.
It's very like high pitch. If you listen for it, we'll see. Irving Berlin wrote the song "Putting on the Ritz." Well, "White Christmas" is being played on that little high pitched piano, and like until she pointed it out, I never heard it, and I'm like, "Damn, there it is."
That's very cool.
All right, so yeah, listen for that next time. "Catch Me I'm Falling," "Pretty Poison."
Pretty Poison. Wow, you're good at this. I'm surprised.
Hey, what movie?
One of my favorite songs. Well, Catch Me I'm Falling. Catch Me I'm Falling. Do, 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 do. I don't know. What movie?
Hiding Out with John Cryer.
You guys should do that
You
one.
ever see it?
I have, absolutely. He plays the
That's
older guy that goes back to high school, and he's not undercover, but he's in like witness protection kind of deal.
Yeah, it's during the roller skating rink, so scene, which is awesome. Let the music play. Shannon.
That was my roller skating jam when I was a kid. All right, we're almost done here. Whoop. You knew this one.
Respect yourself.
Oh, I mistakenly pressed the one with the answer on it. You didn't see that?
No, I didn't, but that's all right. Respect
You're going to kick yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. You know what? I'm hearing express yourself. Oh, yeah, well, no. I'm actually kind of excited. I'm actually quite excited. I didn't know that. No.
All right, one more.
Oh, baby, I love this song. Musical Youth.
Musical Youth. That's right. It's all about drugs. I had no idea when I was 10 years old that song was about passing a. No idea.
That's great.
My parents didn't know either.
So cool.
You got 18 out of 20. That's a fun game. You'll be able to listen to that game on the Film Crickets, which you can find where? Anywhere you get your podcast. Where can you find that?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there might be a couple that we're not on. It's all like, I'm adding things here and there as I go. If I find a little place that I can add it to, I will. But, we're on Google, Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, Pandora, different famous places at least.
Awesome. Hey, Jay, great to see you. We're going to have you
cool.
and Chris on in April, so look forward to that.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Take care, bud.
Take you. Have a good night.
That's Jay from the Film Crickets. It's a lot of fun. All right, what do we got here? Let's check some of our messages here. And just people responding to the game. I knew that one. I saw, let's see, what's Raylene say about Purple Rain? I saw Purple Rain when it first came out. I was 13 and maybe a bit too young. Maybe a bit. It's so weird. Like, it's one of those movies where I shouldn't have, like, it was just like, oh, I can't watch that. That's an adult movie. Somebody put Porky's on. It was weird. Hi, Wendy and Elaine. Matt knew that one. Of course, Matt knew that one. Matt knows all. You got to give the audience a chance if he doesn't know. I'm doing my best here just to focus on the guest and make sure I get their titles right. I can't do three things at the same time, my friend. How are you, Matt? What's going on? Damn, he killed it. He did killing it. Well, he's killing it. He did kill it, though. Let's fast forward from this message to the end. He killed it. And Jon-Paul's computer crashed. What the hell? How does a computer crash in 2021? Matt. Hi, Matt. All right. So as we wait, you know what we can do as we wait for Jon-Paul Royer to join us? I'm going to mix myself a drink because my margarita is almost done. But I do want to play for you guys a new song from my good friend J.C. McCord, who put an album out during COVID, just released it. And this is I guess you would call this the second single of the album. And it's got a really cool video that goes along with it. So let's, if I can figure out how to do this. There's that. See, there's the main title. I got to get rid of Matt here. Sorry, Matt. Bye, Matt. There's J.C. McCord. And then I got to swing over here and play it. Jon-Paul's back in the queue. So Jon-Paul, I'll be with you in just about 3 minutes. Check out this new song and new video from J.C. McCord.
Anybody see my phone? My recollection is a little hazy. How the hell I get home? Oh, last night got pretty crazy. You tell me I was slamming down, acting like a clown, bought the whole bar around and away. Well, okay, it could have been me. Hey, where's my credit card? Still at the bar, I guess I must have left it. Dude, where's my car? Oh yeah, I think I took an Uber instead. When did I get this sombrero tattoo? Why is my left eye all black and blue? Man, no way. Well, okay, could have been me. That could have been me, staying home every night, holding her tight in my arms. Could have been me, too blind to see everything I was doing wrong. That could have been me, staying home every night, holding her tight in my arms. That could have been me, too blind to see everything I was doing wrong. Who's knocking on my door? It's the police, they wanna ask me some questions about the night before. Hey, is there something that you failed to mention? They wanna know if I broke into the zoo, kidnapped an Australian kangaroo. Man, no way. Well, okay, it could have been me. It could have been me. Well, it could have been me. Could have been me. Could have been me.
That's J.C. McCord. I love that song because I've been there. We've all been there. Do you know what you did last night? No, there's no way I did that. Oh, wait. Yeah, that could have been me. Awesome. All right, let's go to our next guest. It is Mr. J.P. Royer. How are you, J.P. Royer?
I'm doing good now.
You sound amazing, first of all. I mean, you haven't even started singing yet, you ass, and you already sound amazing.
Hi. Sound good?
Hi. Yeah. By the way, I have to point out that Matt is not talking about you in our introduction. He's talking about J.C. McCord.
I just watched that. It was pretty awesome, I got to say.
It was. I mean, I love the animation. Anybody that can put a video out right now, that's pretty cool.
I've actually seen some of the other stuff he's put out as well.
He's great, and he did that over COVID with everybody tracking in different locations, and the whole album is really good. But enough about that musician. Let's talk about you. How you been?
I'm doing good.
Yeah,
I hijacked my wife's office for tonight.
Yeah, I like it. It's nice. I mean, you had the purple room, which always was kind of cluttered, but you have a nice little lit up tree behind you. Oh, yeah. You got some Disney animation characters behind you.
This is all Kim's doing here. So, yeah.
Well,
I hijacked the room for just tonight. Yeah.
Let's take I just want to take a wider look at that. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, she's a big Disney person, as you can tell.
Are you?
I like Disney. She even has the train set back there, the Lego set, and the castle. If you can see it back there.
Yeah, I got the castle, yeah.
Yeah, it's all Lego, like 1 million pieces. Rob wants that.
All right, so JP, you're one of those guys that gets out and, well, when we could, you played a lot. You Tiger Lily, of course, all the side projects that we've done, like Nantucket Sound Machine. You're also doing a lot of solo stuff, and you actually really started ramping up with the solo stuff right when the pandemic hit.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's all that's available right now for entertainment when you can find it is some sort of solo act. So, hi, Don. But, acoustic is the way it is right now, so that's where I'm gravitating at the most. I will have some shows. Yeah, some shows will pop up for me and Lily, but right now it's going to be only solo. With the rules in place. Yeah.
There was a time where JP, you would give us videos. You would produce videos, play them a lot, and we haven't seen one of those Purple Room videos in quite some time.
The Purple Room is in shambles right now. I ripped it apart. Only to redo it. I just have not redone the room. It's an empty shell right now. I'm still debating about a name change and not using the Purple Room as the name.
But if people wanted to see those videos, there still is a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I still have my YouTube channel with all those still up there. Yeah.
And what is the YouTube channel? Every once in a while, I have to search for it. I got to dig for it.
It's just under my name, Jon-Paul Royer. Yeah.
Jon-Paul Royer, and
Yeah.
I'm on there. I got one of those
Yep,
videos.
you do. There's a few of them
And
actually with you in it.
There's and then
The Christmas.
oh, you
ones,
got. I
yeah.
don't think you did, but you got to put the snowflake stuff on the Jon-Paul Royer page. I don't think they're on there. Every year, I got to dig them up.
I'll find it. Yeah, I'll look.
Okay.
I thought they were up there, but you were right. When
But-
we were looking for stuff this year. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Find it.
But Jon-Paul's page is full of performances, solo performances, but also performances with local musicians. So if you're missing all your local musician friends, you can go to Jon-Paul Royer's page on YouTube and get your fix.
And I'm missing my musician friends as well.
Yeah, it's been weird. I
Oh.
mean, we get to talk during times like this, and Matt's on here, and we can converse this way. But it's not like hanging out at an establishment,
Yeah.
having some drinks. Like I'm going to talk about the trade. Actually, let's talk about the tradesman just a little bit because
I wore the shirt just for tonight.
oh, I see. Okay, you got
Yeah.
the T-shirt on. Yeah,
got the T on,
the T-shirt.
T-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. So last week I was having pizza. I was eating this at Slab in Portland, and I got the call from the radio station that there was a fire at the T. Molly says I turned white, and I started making phone calls and texts and found out that the T indeed was on fire Saturday around 1:00. And from the first few photos, it was just the left side, the kitchen side, with a lot of smoke. And I'm like, oh, maybe they can contain that and stop that. In the end,
Yeah, I know.
that's our
know.
tradesman.
I know.
So it was
It's sad.
tough.
This
This was the tradesman a couple years ago, and if you can't really see that well, that is I don't know 500-700 people in the parking lot of the T enjoying our Labor Day bash.
Yep,
It was a special place.
it was, and it will be again.
It will be again. That's
Yeah.
right. And that's the good thing is that there's insurance for stuff like that, and we have Tim Rice for all the memories, of course.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he
Yeah,
shot
I-
that photo right there.
he had some amazing photos, and it's funny. I've been digging through my phone. I have a lot of old photos as well that I gotta collaborate and put them together and package them up by date, because right now it's a mess. They're all over the place, but I'd like to organize them for everybody to enjoy.
But for the last 4 or 5 years, we hosted the Monday Night Social, the first Monday of every month, and people would come together on a Monday night, and we would fill the place, which was amazing on a Monday. And people would get up, they'd sing for the first time, they'd sing for the 100th time, they'd connect with other people. It was really a special place for live music. Give me just a couple words on the T in your own words.
I mean, I just found it was just a great vibe where musicians got together, and it was like zero attitude when you got to those socials. It was about really we actually thrived on watching the newbies come. We actually loved watching the newbies show up for the first time. And it wasn't like we were like, oh, let's check out the newbie. It was actually, we were encouraging the newbies. Because we actually, we were the newbies at one time,
Yeah.
And I actually love watching, especially the songwriters, the young songwriters that show up, the 21, 22-year-old that's writing songs. I love watching that. I really do.
You know what's funny is that Tony Soul was one of those newbies at one time.
Yeah, I remember when he first started, and we were like, who the hell is this guy?
He came out of nowhere,
yeah.
and then he started gigging. And the story is he was gigging in his youth, and then it was about 40 years that he took off, and he came to the social and he did his thing. I think we gave him the game ball that night.
Oh, yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, Tony's great. He really is.
Yeah. All right, so I see you have your guitar and you've got all your reverb set up. What are you gonna do for us?
I've been working on a song by Don Henley today, so I'd actually like
Nice.
to do Heart of the Matter by Don Henley.
All right, JP
How's that
Royer.
sound? All right.
Take it away.
I got a call today I didn't want to hear. I knew it would come. An old true friend of ours was talking on the phone. Said you found someone. I thought of all the bad luck and all the struggles we went through. How I lost me and you lost you. What are these voices Side love's open door, make us throw our contentment and beg for something more. I'm learning to live without you now. And I miss you sometimes. The more I know, the less I'll understand all the things I thought I knew. I'm learning again, trying to get down to the heart of the matter, but my will gets weak and my thoughts seem to scatter. But I think it's about forgiveness, forgiveness. Even if you don't love me anymore. These times are so uncertain, yearning undefined, and people filled with rage. We all need some tenderness, and how can love survive in such a graceless age? Trust of self-insurance that lead to happiness. They're very things we kill, I guess. And pride and competition can't fill these empty arms. The work I put between us, you know it doesn't keep me warm. I'm learning to live without you now. I miss you, baby. The more I know, the less I'll understand things I figured out. I'll have to learn again and trying to get down to the heart of the matter. But everything changes and my friends seem to scatter. But I think it's about forgiveness, forgiveness. Even if you don't love me anymore. There are people in your life who've come and gone. They'll let you down, you know they'll hurt your pride and put it all behind you, baby, 'cause life goes on. You carry that anger, it'll eat you up inside. And trying to get down to the heart of the matter, but my will gets weak and my thoughts seem to scatter. But I think it's about forgiveness, forgiveness. Even if you don't love me anymore. I'm trying to get down to the heart of the matter, because the flesh will get weak and the ashes will be scattered. But I think it's about forgiveness, forgiveness. Even if you don't love me anymore. How's that?
That was awesome.
Shorted it up for you.
That was great, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
What are you drinking tonight?
I actually am just drinking Di Serrano.
Oh, cheers.
A little Di Serrano for myself. Dessert drink.
I just made myself a gimlet.
You know, I was watching that with Michael that you guys were making drinks.
Yep.
I don't have enough alcohol in my house to make one complete drink. I've decided that.
Well, I have, so as you know, I host parties like the Redneck Party. So I happen to have the worst alcohols ever, like novelty alcohols, like
Right.
bacon whiskey and
Oh,
peanut
God.
butter whiskey and stuff like that. Stuff that seemed good at the time. Like, oh, this is going to be great. Somebody has
I mean-
one shot of it, and then I'm
Right.
left with the rest.
Right. As long as you're eating Oreo cookies and Reese's peanut butter cups with it, then it's great.
Exactly. But it doesn't go with a steak, a filet.
Oh, no.
No. not at all.
And I'm a whiskey. I like whiskey. I don't have any whiskey here in the house right now.
Oh, I got a lot of whiskey. You should come over sometime when you feel safe to come over.
I do right now, actually.
Please, I need some bourbon.
Yeah.
I loved. Oh yeah, peanut butter whiskey was great. It is. I still have some, Lorian. You're welcome to come over. I'm not hitting on you. I'm just saying that I have peanut butter whiskey here. Is that how you lure girls into your lair? I have peanut butter whiskey.
That's how Matt got her.
I believe that's the story. You're absolutely right.
Right. Matt, tell us through the chat room, Matt. How did you get her?
So, how is everybody in Tiger Lily? How is K Fig? How's Tish? How is Jay? We know Jay. I've seen Jay recently.
Yeah, I've seen Jay. Actually, I was over Kevin's house a couple weeks ago. We were just hanging out outside, distantly social. I mean, we're socially distanced outside. Haven't seen him in a while. I miss him. Kevin's a great guy, as you know.
He is.
I just stopped by.
First of all, it's kind of neat that we know K Fig. You know him a lot better than I do, but K Fig is the drummer for Extreme, and not it doesn't take away anything from his drumming duties in Tiger Lily. Yeah. But here's a guy that hangs out in the local music scene, plays with some of us, and he has been the drummer for Extreme for what, 10, 12 years?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's played with some real people. He really has.
I just want to brag to my out-of-towners who are watching.
I joke with him. It was last year he sat in with Nancy Wilson in L.A., and I was like, oh, God.
Was that the compilation album that he was a part of?
No, he did it was live. He did it with Nuno, and it was just a live show where Nancy Wilson came up, and they did, I forget which song by heart. But, yeah, I'm like, yeah, he's not coming home. Yeah, he's staying there.
And then he was part of some compilation album, right, with Aerosmith?
Yeah, he played a song with Steve Tyler and Nuno. It was the Muscle Shoals.
That's album. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So now K-Fig is somebody, as far as I know, he's very down to earth. He's a Millbury guy. It's just a regular guy.
He is a regular guy. He's a funny.
How does he handle that fame? He's got to be like in awe meeting some of his idols. I should probably interview him.
No, you should. He is funny. He is funny about that, how he meets people, and he still gets starstruck too. He does.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he grew up listening to all that stuff, and I can't. It's funny. He's not into the same music you think he would be.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A lot of those songs you were using in the trivia earlier today, like the new shoes and stuff. He was into that stuff. He was
kidding.
He was a break dancer when he was a kid. Yeah.
That's awesome. How's Lily?
She's doing great. I was just over her house last week. We were still working on some stuff. She's doing good. But good. COVID has kept everybody pretty distanced from everybody, and because of for everybody's personal reasons, everybody's staying pretty isolated, and it's funny. I've been the only one who's ventured to each person to see each other from a distance. Everybody.
I know you spent some time with Jay, and I don't want to get into the whole story for privacy reasons, but something came up, and the local music scene came forward for Jay.
Yeah.
And did something amazing. And it was a testament to who Jay is, and it's a testament to what this local music scene is.
Yeah, and I guess we won't talk about it, but let's just say it came out great. And I think tomorrow is the finishing day.
Are you going to have a ribbon cutting? I'd like to be there for that.
I don't know. It's up to Jay. It's his place.
I think we have to have a ribbon cutting for that. But it was nice to see the whole music community came out for Jay, because Jay is always there for the local music community.
Correct. He is. Yeah.
All right, you want to do one more song?
That's what you want. Sure.
I would love one more song.
All right. Sure. How about Van Morrison, Little Moon Dance?
Ooh, sounds good. Oh, hey, Tish is watching.
Is she on here?
Yeah.
Hey.
What's up, Lily?
Hello, Lily. Hello. All right, I'm going to do a little moon dance.
All right.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance, with the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance, neath the October skies. And all the leaves and the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. And I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. You know the night's magic seems to whisper and hush, and all the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you, my love? Ooh, well, I wanna make love to you tonight. I can't wait till the morning has come. I know that the time is just right. Straight to my arms you will run. And when you come to my heart, we'll be waiting to make sure that you're never alone. There and then all my dreams will come true, dear. There and then we'll make you my own. And every time I touch you, you just tremble inside. You know how much you want me that you can't hide. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you, my love? Ooh. Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance, with the stars up above in your eyes. Fantabulous night to make romance, neath the cover of October skies. And all the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. And I'm trying to please the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. And all the night's magic seems to whisper and hush, and all the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you, my love? One more moon dance with you in the moonlight on a magic night, and the la 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 in the moonlight on a magic night. Can I just have one more moon dance with you? Ooh, my love.
Sorry, I didn't want to go solo on that. I took him totally off. There we go.
Hey.
Sometimes hated for his incredibly ridiculous talent, J.P. Royer.
Well, thank you. I actually really like that song. It's a fun song to play.
JP is a bass player, if you don't know, for a band called Tiger Lily in the local area, actually regional. And he started playing guitar at socials and showcasing his skills on the drums. And everyone's like, ugh, if it wasn't enough, he's playing bass well. Now he can do everything else. Are you kidding me? Have you checked your zipper? Lily's asking if you just have checked your...
Why? Am I afraid to something's going to pop out?
Sometimes hated. I'm sorry. Tish, you're right. Always hated for his talent. Don really enjoyed that. There we go. Nailed it. Look at that.
Thank you, Don.
Skills.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
buddy.
you.
I got to bring my friend Jay in. It was awesome talking to you. Matt says hi as well.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
And Robin is also watching. It looks like a naked man in a canoe. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that means either. It means a naked man in a canoe. Yeah.
All right,
season's
bud.
coming. That's what it means. Boat season's
Boat
coming.
season. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Always good to see you, bud.
All right, you too. Thank you for having me.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
J.P. Royer, great guy. I miss him. I miss all of my local music family. All right, let's do this. Jay.
Hey, it's me.
Oh, you've got a triple IPA there.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you're feeling tonight.
That's a Sparkle Puff. I love everything that's going on here. It's Galaxy Starfighter, Sparkle Puff, Flying Monkey Craft Brewery. So much going on there.
There's a lot. It's one of, when you talk about people drinking beer because of the cans, that is one of those cans you're drawn to.
It was totally, and that's why I picked it up. And then when I saw that it was actually a 10.2% alcohol, I'm like, "Ooh, thank you very much. I'll take that."
Funny thing about that is you normally don't taste hard alcohol in a beer. That one you can almost taste tequila.
You can taste it, but the thing is, it's still delicious. I'm shocked, absolutely shocked.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here's a question for you.
Yep.
How's your parking space going? What's that?
I luckily, yeah, I've not seen the guy again since that one time he came running into my store.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I can honestly say though that some other people have complained about him in the same plaza after a couple of weeks. Man, that guy's a psycho. I really hope I never see him again.
That's funny. How you been, buddy?
I'm okay. I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm drinking. I was listening to my my Pac-Man Fever on cassette.
Yeah, you got me the album not too long ago. People don't realize there's an Asteroid song on there. I think there's a Donkey Kong song. Centipede has its own song.
They're actually fun songs to listen to. I like them.
One of them died.
Yes, it was Pac-Man. It was very sad. The ghost finally.
It's a whole paranormal thing.
Seriously, and then of course I was listening to the Miami Vice, and of course I'm Kevin Schuler. Everyone, welcome to the show. I was listening to the Miami Vice and other TV themes on cassette.
Oh, I see now. I had the Miami Vice soundtrack.
Yes, I have the soundtrack, but I remember I grabbing this one just because it's got the A-Team, Magnum, Dynasty, Beretta's theme, Hill Street Blues, which I hated Hill Street Blues theme song. It always just depressed me hearing that. St. Elsewhere, same thing. Didn't like that one. Dallas always made me sad because it was like, oh, it's time to go to bed now because Dallas is on. Dukes of Hazzard and Charlie's Angels.
Funny thing about the Hill Street Blues theme song is that the same guy that composed that is the same guy that produced Van Halen 3.
Oh, no way.
Yes. Eddie, instead of, hiring a rock and roll guy to produce that album with Gary Cherone, hired a TV show theme song composer. That's why it's a little weird.
But, if you got the ear, you got the ear. That's what.
Absolutely.
That was awesome. That was awesome seeing JP. You should have kept him on for a little while so I could have said hi to him. But that's okay. Hey, there he is.
I'm still here. I'm listening. I'm in the background.
Look at that.
I haven't. I saw JP. What was it? Probably about a couple of months into the pandemic. He stopped by. We were doing a little business outside, and JP has the best sanitation station in the back of his car. He had all these, hand sanitizers and paper towels and gloves, and I'm just like, oh, you were set. You were literally ready for the apocalypse, and he was.
I have a system. That's what it comes down to. I had a system.
Do you have a zombie duffel bag?
I don't have a zombie duffel bag.
All right. Well, then you haven't made it yet.
Sounds like you have one.
You need one.
I've got a machete.
If you put that in a zombie duffel bag, a zombie apocalypse duffel bag, you're all set.
Well, then those zombies are going to get all cut up. Those poor guys stuck in that duffel bag.
All right. So yes, that's JP. Sorry.
You can kick me out anytime you want. I'm just going to stay in the background.
Say hi, JP. I haven't seen you.
I'm just listening anyways.
Jay wanted to say hi, so we brought you in.
Well, I appreciate it. Hi, Jay.
All right.
I appreciate it.
All right, that's enough.
You cut him off as you say he misses me.
I know, right? That's horrible. I'm sorry. I have the worst timing. I apologize. Hold on. He's
Bye, Jay.
All right, Jay. So we should talk about this. First of all, what a lovely portrait from Don Bailey of the tradesman. I was trying to find a photo of the front of the tradesman so I could explain to people what was going on who don't normally know. I have, there's legendary listeners here, people from Canada, people from South Carolina, but this was the tradesman in a nutshell. Don did a fantastic job with this.
Oh yeah, it's one of the customers I believe was moving, and another customer suggested to Dawn to do a drawing of the tea for him, and so she did that. It came out perfect. This is the tradesman right here. It's absolutely. And so she took that drawing and she obviously made put the heart on there, but the words are so true, absolutely so true. And this hit Dawn so hard. She felt so horrible, like we all did, but. It's just a constant thing. Remember all the good times, and man, we're going to have some great times in the future because we're rebuilding, man.
I can't say it enough, and I know he's our close friend, but thank God for Tim Rice.
Yep.
He documented the last 10 years of that place for the most part, maybe 8 years. But all the major parties, everything that went on, this was Toll Booth Willie doing Pearl Jam, and there's 100 photos from that night, and this is just one of my favorite photos from that night. But this was the tea. When a band played, it was packed. Music lovers and non-music lovers were there just to enjoy the experience.
Yeah, Tim says it all the time. People would come into the bar and they'd be like, wait a minute, we're in the wrong place. And so what do you mean? Where are you supposed to be? Well, we're trying to get to the tradesman. No, this is it. No, I've seen Tim's photos, and this isn't what the tradesman looks like.
He does. He makes it look so big.
Yes, that's what she said. But it's true. Tim knows how to hit all the angles. And again, when you have that kind of crowd in even that small of a bar, you can't help but think it's a freaking stadium, man.
Yeah. This was the outside. This could very well be Tiger Lily on stage. I'm not sure because this was a few years ago, but that's our Labor Day bash, which brought in over the course of a day 1,000 people on this tiny little property. And it might be hard to see. Oh, that was 2018. Yeah, 3 years ago. That might be hard to see, but that parking lot is full and it goes around the corner. That building is tiny. And unfortunately, last Saturday, this is what I'm ramping up to, is we lost the tea.
Absolute tragedy, but absolutely no one was hurt in it. Everyone got out safe.
Yep. So that's the front. Obviously, he's the back is where the deck was. You can see the great big distracted driving deck, which we have we still have the plaque, the dedication plaque. That was nice of Liz to save that for us.
You remember what year that was? Was that like 2015? That it was the same year that he put that he finalized the deck on there.
It was when he did the deck, because I think we dedicated it that a couple weeks later.
Yeah. It was just so hilarious because we're so full of ourselves. We had a whole, presentation of the great big distracted driving deck. But it was such a fun day. We sold T-shirts, we signed pictures, and
Justin and I played.
We had a band on, and it was all we cut the ribbon on the deck, man. Yeah. And the great thing is we have we've got that. It's one of my videos. This is just a test. If you go to my YouTube page, this is just a test, and you can actually see it. And you can see actually if you go to my YouTube page for this is just a test, almost let's say 75% of all the performances are taking place in the tea. So you can actually relive a lot of the stuff that we did back then.
Yeah, you have a lot from the socials and from the Labor Day bashes and all that.
Yeah, I can't say it enough. Rob's one of our best friends, and I was so worried about him. But man, I love hearing him just say, "I got so many ideas for the future," and that's what it's all about. It's how much you can tell, because you can tell a person if they're just like, "Yeah, we'll see what we can do." It's like, no, Rob's like, "No, we're not going anywhere. We're gonna do this."
I've been checking in with Rob every other day or so, and he's a good spirits. I think his biggest thing is that nobody was hurt.
Yep, no one was hurt. And again, it's just a building. We have all the memories. But as Todd said on he posted, and he's like, man, I never knew how much a building could affect me when we lose it, because all day Saturday when that happened, I just your gut is just your throat is in your gut, man, and you're just like, what? This is impossible. This can't be happening.
Joey's asking if we talk about it like they don't know. I think I did a good job setting that up, right? That was
yes, you did.
yeah, it was just a place for local music, and I talked about it with JP. We had the local music social, which is basically an open mic, but more of all the musicians getting together to just hang out, play a little music, socialize.
Yeah.
And
The
not
first time-
if you go to it, if you go, huh?
First time that I ever got up and started singing.
Yeah, you have a thing now.
Which led to me and my buddy Matt were in jam to be on stage at the Labor Day Bash for the acoustic acts at the beginning. I mean, are you kidding me? I wouldn't have in a million years thought I would be doing that.
And those are stories that happen each month. Most open mics, if you go to any open mic, you're going to see people sitting in corners, not talking. It's their time to get up. They go up, they impress everybody, they leave. The social started at 7:00. Back in the heyday of it, it ended at midnight. And I say heyday, that's when I didn't have the morning show and I'd be out drinking till midnight on a Monday night.
It would end up with like me and you and Zajac and Bill.
Yeah.
We're just doing shots at the end. Like, wait, we got to go home now?
It was a chance for the local music scene to get together, hang out. No other place but the T was the right place for that social. But as we said before, we filled the place with music every weekend. People came out from all walks of life to enjoy that music, and the outdoor deck performances and the Labor Day Bash. It was just that special place. So Distracted Driving is a show that Jay and I had with our friend Tim Rice, the photographer Tim Rice. We used to go out and we put a camera. It's just like what Jerry Seinfeld stole from us. Let me just say that.
He really did.
I think at one point during his show, he mentioned all the ripoffs. Didn't he say that?
Yeah. And we're like, settle down, Jerry, because and I'm not even saying we were the first, but we were definitely one of the first people that did it, and well before Jerry was doing it.
Well before Jerry. So we would go out, we'd talk to people. I had Lou Temple on last week or 2 weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, and he was one of our guests. It was fun. We had local musicians, local people. Rob was probably on at one point. So anyway, for a goof, and Jay was just talking about this, Rob put a new deck on the back of the Tradesman, and we're like, oh, that's got to be the Distracted Driving deck. We're going to dedicate it to Distracted Driving. We'll get a plaque. And like Jay said, we had this whole ceremony. There's the ribbon cutting right there. And Milford TV was there filming the whole thing. So that's somewhere too, the Milford TV footage.
No, it's either this is just a test or it's a Distracted Driving episode.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll have to find that and post that, or you find that and post that. But we made a whole big deal about it. We signed autographs. Look at the T-shirts and 8x10 photos. We took tips. I don't think anybody bought anything that day.
I think a couple people did.
There's Jamie helping us. We had a merch girl and everything. It's one of those things where perception is reality, you know? People are walking up to play cornhole, and they're like, what the hell's going on? I just want to play cornhole.
Not today, man. Not today. Today's for Distracted Driving and our great big deck. That's right. It was a huge deck. And the funny thing about that deck was you've been there for years as well, so you remember. The original deck was this, what was it, maybe a 10x10 deck. Like
it was just kind of like a smoking area, basically. Yeah.
It was this tiny little rickety thing just outside a door that you wouldn't even know was there unless you went looking for it. And then Rob's like, you know what, we need a huge deck. And I was like, you do need a huge deck because he's really short. So he needed a huge deck to make up for that.
For the first Labor Day Bash that we had, it was still there. I thought,
yeah,
the one that was right in the dart room, right? It was right off of the dart room. Yeah.
It wasn't. I think I remember the first year too because I was helping Chris D. I was bar backing for him, and because there was just tents out back behind where the deck would eventually be. Jeff
was DJing, and I think it was just him, his equipment, and Maureen were the only ones that would fit on that back deck.
Yes.
That's how small it was.
Yep.
And then there was a bar right over the deck, right where you guys were.
Yeah, we just had a tent set up, and then that was it. I mean,
yeah. What's one of your fondest memories of the Tradesman?
Oh, easily.
I know there's so many.
there's no, but easily it's you know, like I said, when I finally got to start singing down there was amazing. But I also I ruined birthdays for for the rest of my life because I happened to write a song for Dawn Bailey, and it was, in my opinion, it was a really good song, and I sang it to her for her birthday at the social, and then I was like, oh man, I can never do better than this. I can't go bigger than singing her a song on her birthday. But she loved it. I loved it. It was great. That's easily one of my favorite things. But there's a million things that happen at the tea. You know, it's where a lot of us, hey, there, yeah, exactly. It's totally. It's Milford's CBGB's. You know, everyone wanted to play there. Everyone wanted to be part of the family there. You know, it's exactly everything Dawn's saying right there.
What do I think she's saying? Is that what you said? We can just read it. I thought you said, what do you think she's saying there?
No, I said it's everything she's saying.
Oh, okay.
Such an
that was a fun night. Tim Rice's 40th birthday. That's the last time he drank, I think.
It was me and Jeff. Unfortunately, we kept bringing him. What was it? What did he drink?
Well, he had the TRP bombs was made just for him that night.
Those were delicious.
And I know he was drinking White Russians at my birthday party. Was he doing it that night too? Okay.
No, see, like the 40th was the last time. It was the time that photo bombs. That's what those were. But it was after that he started that we gave him way too many White Russians, and he's like, no, that's it. I'm never drinking again. I'm like, oh, we blew it because Tim was so great when he was drunk.
But I'll tell you what, another great thing about the tea was if you were in that position where you may have had too many, there was always a friend there to take care of you.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone looked out for each other. Tim tells a story about it, and there was always a rogue person that was there for the first time and always wanted to like puff his chest and get ready to fight somebody. And Tim happened to come across that guy one night, and immediately when this guy squared off, 15 people surrounded him and said, do you know who this guy is? Get off our buddy here. So it policed itself. You know what I mean? Like you got 1,000 people at the Labor Day bash throughout the course of the day. Nothing ever happened because everybody that was there policed the party.
Yep. Well, also because most of the police were there anyways watching the show.
That's right.
They were all having a blast.
But it was a safe place. It was a dive bar. Absolutely. But it was a safe place. You always felt comfortable there. You always knew somebody there.
And that's the thing. I like going out, of course, like anyone else. But man, when you walked into the Tradesman, it was just like walking into home. You kicked up, you watched TV, you played some Keno, you drank some drinks, and you got to catch up with people you don't normally catch up with. I've said this a million times. All the local musicians. That's where I hung out with all of them, and that's where I became such good friends with so many of them, and just people in general. You know, I would have never met half the people in my life had I not met them at the Tradesman, and they became close family with me.
We had a fun night, and we've all been there till the end when the doors are locked. We've all been there, but for some reason, I think it was just Justin and I that were playing, or it could have been one of the bands. But Rob had to leave, and this was early on, and he said, "I need you guys to shut down with Chelsea." And as soon as he said that, we're like, "Oh my God, we have ownership of the tea right now." And we were responsible for kicking everyone out. We yelled at everyone to push up to the front. I just remember one of those nights feeling very important because we were there to help Rob close up and help Chelsea close up.
Well, I always loved being him because, again, like I said, he's one of our best friends. And it'd always be funny when someone would be like, "Oh, I know the owner." He'd laugh. Like, "Oh, do you?"
I love that line. Because everybody knows the owner. I get that. But I think we have a special bond with Rob. So when somebody says, get me a drink, you're shut off. I know the owner. You just have to laugh and say, that's cute.
Oh yeah, it was Tim just wrote the tea holiday parties. Oh, those were some classic parties. And we would actually do distracted drivings, and we would take all the different people from the tea that worked there, because this was when Rob gave back to the employees, and he made sure that they all had a great time, and he actually bartended the entire time.
He bartended so that they could yell at him to get the drinks on time, and I want this, I want that. And we Justin and I usually played those. We played many of them, and then distracted driving would take everybody out on a ride.
I have
It's classic.
I have one of the original tradesman shirts, which is actually on the back. It's tradesmen, not tradesman, because
I remember that.
went
I,
through-
I,
it went
I
through
said,
and
Rob,
like,
what do you?
whatever. He's like, whatever, that's fine.
That was his response. I said, I don't think that's the name of the bar. It's all right. It doesn't matter. Halloween parties. You and Dawn always rock the Halloween parties.
Well, it was Dawn Bailey that always made sure that I looked good, and she always looked fantastic. The last one we actually attended that we just kicked ass. We both went as members of KISS.
I was there.
Yeah, Gene and Paul, you took an awesome picture where I nailed Paul's, it's just his look.
We were the SNL cheerleaders that night.
Yes, you guys were awesome.
There's some great memory pictures that always pop up around Halloween of our first there with you guys. I was a nun and Molly was a priest, and I can't remember what you guys did that year, but I remember it being wall to wall there, packed.
Oh yeah. And just and every year there'd be just some awesome costumes. And that was a great thing too, because again, you go into a little bar like this, you don't expect there to be a Halloween party with crazy costumes, but yet there would, you expect it to be at a dance club. But nope, at the Tradesman,
Right.
Jeff would DJ, and he'd get everyone on the dance floor, and everyone would have a killer time.
As far as bands go, we've had so many great shows there. It's always special to have a band show there. But what really comes to mind for me was the Pearl Jam 10 show that Toll Booth Willie did, where we just did 10 from start to finish. That's it. It wasn't a 3-hour night. We just did 10. And the place was wall to wall. We had a curtain that came down on the first beat of the song.
I had that curtain ready to pull it down.
Yeah, it was so awesome. And then a very close second was our punk night. And that night, it was funny because I told Rob early on, I said, I got an idea for a night. He goes, what is it? I said, don't worry about it. And he said, okay, what date do you want? Didn't care. He just knew that it was going to be a great party. So we did a punk night. We had our friends, the Pathetics, come in from Worcester. And who else played? Templeton's Holiday played. And then we did a Pearl Jam. A bunch of us, Matt Kadurk and Bill and Justin and myself did a Green Day tribute to Dookie.
Yep.
And that was such a fun night.
I love anytime there was a theme night. Theme nights were the best there.
Theme nights are great. And back to Halloween, Barbie and Tim were Justin and Ray one year. That was a lot of fun.
They looked just like you too. It was scary.
What a tribute. Wait a minute. Hold on one sec. Jon-Paul would like to chime in.
Hey!
Where were you? Oh, were you at Punk Night?
I was there. I was there that night. Yeah.
There was such
awesome.
an energy to any kind of show. Like you could have that show anywhere else and it might be a little stale. It might be a little forced. But for some reason at the Tradesman, when you put on a show like that, it was like being at CBGB's.
Yep.
Yeah. It was good. It was a great night. I've seen some really great bands there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last night, remember you guys did the Christmas in 2019? That was awesome.
Yeah, JP's Christmas shows were fantastic.
Yeah, we had the pajama nights.
Yes.
Yeah.
PJs, yeah. Yep. Only at the Tradesman.
Only at the Tradesman. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to make myself one more drink and pass out.
I am going to, I'm probably going to go and watch some WandaVision.
All right. I just want, oh, yeah, we're backed up, so we're going to watch 2 tonight.
All right. It was awesome.
I'm not in the right mindset to watch it, but the kid wants to watch it, so we have to watch it. I just want to remind everybody that tomorrow from 8 to 12 is a fundraiser at Honeydew. Both locations, by the way. I got to get rid of Tim's thing here so you can see everything. See, this is, hold on, where's that bit of a, there we go. 8 to 12, 10% of all proceeds go to Milford Youth Football and Cheer. Both locations in Milford at Honeydew. Please help support the kids. It's, that time in that it'll be the first time and hopefully last time that we're dealing with this pandemic where it's just hard to get kids together to play, to raise money and all that stuff. So it's very important that you guys support any kind of cause you can right now.
Yes.
Cause it's very important.
Cause.
All right. JP, good to see you.
Thank you again.
Bye. Jay, always a pleasure.
Rock on, Ray. We will talk on Sunday night.
Tomorrow night.
Sunday night.
Right. We're still doing tomorrow night, right?
Oh God, tomorrow night we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. But
right.
Sunday night is Rubber Chicken Comics presents Chicken Chat. I'm sorry, we should spend just a couple minutes on this. This is a fun little podcast that we do as well on Facebook, and it's on the Rubber Chicken Comics Facebook page. What's our topic? Do we know?
I don't know. We'll figure it out tomorrow.
All right, but it's movie, pop culture related, TV related, whatever, and it's always a lot of fun. All right, bud.
Have a good night. Thanks.
Bye, bud. That's it. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. Did I get through everything I wanted to get through? I didn't. Oh, I wanted to talk to Jay about, look what I found at Burnett's. I was going to talk about all my treasures because I still treasure hunt. It's not flea market treasure hunting. It's antique shop treasure hunting, and Burnett's in Uxbridge is a great location. This is from 1990. Do you remember this? That's hard. That's glass. You can't use this anymore. Why? Because some kid grabbed this from their mom as she's having her Sunday morning coffee at McDonald's, and he's eating his pancakes and sausage and he spilt it all over her lap. She screamed, and then he cracked it over her head and she passed out. That's why they can't do this anymore. That's hard. That's hard glass. Or he dropped it and somebody cut their little foot on it. Now it's all plastic and paper, but this is one of those original McDonald's glasses. I don't know how long that lasted, but it was a crazy idea and I love it. So that's it. I should just do a show about antiquing. Look at those donuts, kids. Absolutely fantastic. You can get that tomorrow at Honeydew Donuts in Milford. Both locations. Have a fantastic week.
I'm going crazy, sitting on that train, and I don't think I'm ever coming home. Don't think I'm lazy, don't think I'm strange. I do think I'm really just losing it all. 'Cause I'm going crazy. Yes, I'm going crazy.